might go back to D, or it might go to D. But what it's telling you is it's those three chords. And they're the only ones you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about anything else to make a song up. Yeah. So the answer to the question, yes, the chords are for accompaniment. But you can, like I say, you can also play chords with the right hand in the higher notes, and they sound good.
So,
Sir?
I notice on here, you have a letter, you keep playing that same chord each measure until it changes.
That's right. Okay, here's what Jim was asking. This is an example of it. This song is written in D. So it's got pickup notes. They generally are just done with the right hand. They're getting you into the song, and then you start playing the melody, and then with your left hand, you're making a D chord. So D, F sharp, and A. And you're going to do this all the way through till you get over here, and it changes to an A minor. Well, we haven't gotten into minor yet.
So I'm just wondering about the duration. Each measure
Yeah.
you play that.
So you play this until you see it changes to something else. And then see it went back to D, and here it threw in a G, that's the fourth we talked about. Goes back to D, then it does an A7, and the song ends on what?
what it started with.
D. Yeah.
But if-
Now they won't always start on the D in this case. Songs won't necessarily start on the note of the key, like C. It could, in C it might start on a F, or it might start on a G, but they'll always end on the key, the note that the key is named after. So,
But you hold that chord down while you're playing the melody for the whole
Well,
measure.
just to measure each
For
chord.
the whole measure, or
it depends. Here we get into it. It's, do it. Can you do it?
no.
Okay. Well, okay, no. Yes and no to that question.
Okay.
Now we're branching off and we're getting into keyboards
Oh, okay.
and what the keyboard can do. And most people buy a keyboard and they shove the book of instructions somewhere, you know, and they might be able to find it later, they may not. And then, well, I wonder how this blessed thing works. Dink, 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 you know. So they'll do amazing things. They're computers. All these are computers. And depending on what the models are, I've got an old Casio at home. It's bigger than this one. It's about like this. And I've had it probably at least 15 years, and I still don't know everything it'll do. But here again, there's a reason of you know, demand. Do you need to know? Well, in most cases we don't. But we do need to know, and they're all slightly different. And that's why you need to look at the instructions. But it will do things for you. Now, we set this one up a while ago, and we're gonna, let's see, we'll make a C chord, but we've got to start it. It's set up, it's going to play the bass automatically. Now that's the rhythm. Can you imagine trying to do that on a piano? You haven't got enough hands. So you could, I mean, and it'll even do the work for you. I'm through. But I want people to think I'm fantastic. doing it that way. So we'll do. Where is that? I don't normally play the bass on this keyboard because I like the. Yeah. Anyhow, they will play an introduction. Okay, let's do it this way and see if we got any better luck. And you can set it up where all you have to do is touch the notes. That's not it. Here we go. This is a good example. You need to read the instructions, which I have not read on that one. They will give you an introduction. They will play. You can hit a button, and in between parts, music generally is broken up into different sections. You'll have one strain, like in bluegrass, they're usually 8 measures long. And the 8 measures may be repeated into 16 measures. And that would be one section of a song. And then you go into a different section of the song. I think that's called a bridge, isn't it? And then you may go back and repeat the first part as the ending. You'll run into that a lot. You see that in gospel hymns, definitely in bluegrass. And so you can hit a button on the keyboard and it will give you a little changeover and the rhythm will change slightly. And so you've got a different sound for, say, the middle part of the song, and then you can leave that or you can go back to the beginning. Yes, sir?
Saying that the way mostly it's verse and chorus.
Verse
and chorus.
Oh, yeah, verse and chorus.
Not bridge.
Yeah. Like if you're acquainted with hymns, you know the chorus, you might have 4 verses that are different. Each one's different, but then the chorus is still the same. So you'd sing verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, and a lot of music is written that way. Go through it that way. So everybody snowed now.
Jack, on your sketch up there on the board, are you meaning to show the chords above?
No,
And okay,
but I can do that.
I know, but you've got, you say a chord's made up of at least three notes. Okay, and then you show 4 notes there.
Well, okay, what I put on here in 4/4 time was so you would have 4 notes to play. That's the example of that.
Okay.
All those notes do make up the chord.
Yeah, they do.
But
I know, I checked.
you'll find as you're playing a song, you will play notes that are not in the chord. So it's written that way. So
Define measure.
measure. Okay, let's go over measures again. Okay, you're looking at we'll do a little recap here. Common time, big C, or it can be written 4/4, means you've got 4 quarter notes to the measure. That's the count. You've got 4 counts to the measure. So, but I mean, it might be a half note. It might be 2 half notes, might be a whole note, might be a half note and 2 quarter notes. It's whatever adds up to 4 counts. See? Okay. Now, the other time, another tempo you'll see a lot. Well, let's stay with this for the moment. And you'll see cut time are 2/4. It's going to be written 4 counts to the measure.
So the measure is what, the counts that you put within the space?
That's right. It's a division of count that goes into that space. Yeah. So, but in this one, you would see, you might see 4 quarter notes, but you wouldn't play them that way. You would play them like they were 1/8 notes, because this time is cut in half. You would play them like they were all, well, like they all had tails on them, hooks on them, make them into quarter notes. That's 2/4 and in common time. Now, I'm going to go into waltz time. And that is 3/4, meaning you're going to have 3 quarter notes to each measure. It may be, if it's something that looks like that, anytime you see a dot next to a note, it means half of its value is added to it. So the value of this is 2 quarter notes. Half of that would be 1 quarter note, so you've got 3 quarter notes. So that makes, you would hold that note for 3 counts. And then if you saw the same thing in a quarter note, what's half of a quarter? An eighth. An eighth note, right. So that's a quarter note plus an 1/8 note. And that's where you start getting into syncopation. Syncopation is, I like syncopation in music. It gives it the bounce. It's the dump, de dump, de dump, de dump. Whereas just dump, 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 dump. Well, that's okay, but it's not anything to write home about. So, there's one other time, tempo designation. I know we've gone over this, but we'll do it again. 6/8. Now what's that tell you?
6 beats to a measure.
There's going to be 6/8 notes to the measure. And this is a lot of marches are written in 6/8 time, because it just plays nice for a march. But you'll see a note there, you'll have a quarter note with a dot, and then it might have, it'll be an 1/8 note, and then you might have no, I'm wrong. Then we'll do a dotted one over here. So this would be equivalent to 2/8 notes. Here's 1/8 note, and this would be equivalent to 3/8 notes. Don't worry about 6/8. You will encounter it. Some hymns, quite a few hymns are in 6/8 time. But the easiest way to count 6/8, to me, is not to try to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just go 1, 2, 1, 2. See, this will be 1, This would be 2. So that would be tum, tit, tum.
And the one in the middle will be shorter. than
This
the-
one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an 1/8 note, so it's gonna play half as long as this one. And this dotted quarter note will play half again as long as that. So that gives you the da, ti, da. Okay, any questions? Yes, sir.
I'm looking at song here, Oh Susanna,
Mhm.
and it says here it's fiddle. So are these notes for the fiddle player?
If it says fiddle, yeah.
Is that for the fiddle player? And then you play the accordion, so what do you look at?
I would look at that.
You look at the notes?
Yeah. Fiddle plays quite a bit higher. If y'all see what he's showing?
Okay, well, what I'm leading up to is I'm a guitar player, so there's an A there, an E7, A, an A, E, and A. I can play those, but how does it correspond to these notes?
Let me borrow your book.
And then the other question is, when I look at an A here, I see all these notes.
Uh-huh.
Come down here and look at that, A, E, and A with those notes.
Okay.
So I guess another question, Jack, is can I look at a sheet of music with no chords at the top for me and be able to play it?
If you can pick a melody out, you can play it. But
But I have to know how to read those notes,
you have to
and then I
know
could
how to
probably
read
do it.
music to do that, and you have to know where those notes are on your guitar.
Okay.
But, okay, this is a piece of fiddle music. So, and in this case, the names of the notes are written on it. This is one of Dr. Cott's books. So, it starts off, it's got 2 pickup notes. And then Roy would start playing an A chord on his guitar. So, this doesn't have the tempo on it, but I'm going to assume it's 4/4 or common time. So, he's going to go dum, dum, 3, 4. He's going to strum 4 times for this measure. And it gets over here and he's going to strum twice in this measure. Then he's going to change and make an E7 chord and strum twice more. Then he gets back down here, he goes back to A, and he strums 4 times. And then here he strums once in A, he strums once in E, and he strums twice in A. But if he was picking it and reading the notes, he would be picking each. He'd change his fingers on the guitar, and he would pick the string, a single string for each note he was playing. But now, like on the keyboard, you can play 2 notes, 2 strings at the same time. Now, did that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. We are getting close to quitting time. Anybody else have any questions? Now, if you think of it and, write your questions down, and then we'll try to cover them at the next class. Now, we won't be here Monday, right? We won't have practice Monday. And then, is it the 14th that we're playing at the Gilmore?
14th and 21st.
And 21st, so, love to have you come. If nothing else, then just to see what we're doing, give you an idea of what's going on. And
It's
it's,
sing and dance.
yeah.
When are these classes? Every day or
This class, no, this class is every Friday.
every Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
10:30.
But it
Except,
won't be on the 14th or the 21st?
No, it won't be on the 14th, yeah, because of us performing.
It'll be on the 7th, next week?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sure will.
I want to give these out. If anybody wants it, this is our business card, but it's got all of these internet information on here.
Glad you asked
These lessons are on the internet. If you get on those, YouTube or whatever, his lesson, you can see the last 2 lessons on there, or the last 3. Anybody else? YouTube up there is the easiest one for beginners to get on. This lesson will be up